Do you need a financial advisor? This is the question that I'll be answering today, despite being a controversial topic where the do-it-yourself investors don't really have any big needs for financial advisor, to the complete newbies that don't even know what is a stock and that will completely rely on the financial advisor. I'll be giving you my personal opinion as a do-it-yourself investor, but most importantly as a financial analyst that has helped many hundred of different financial advisors in the past. But just to make a quick recap on what was my job as a financial analyst, I was helping many hundred of different financial advisors with their investing plans for their different clients to provide what were the best investment to have the highest potential of growth with the lowest risk. And oh boy, some of those financial advisors are really excellent at what they do, but some of them have no clue of what should be their investment strategies. Because if you want to become a great financial advisor, you have two main skills that you must possess, where you need to have some great social skills since you will need to work a lot with your different customers. So you need to be able to understand well your clients to be able to sell them the great products, but you also need to have some great financial knowledge. But today I'll talk about the average financial advisor, and I'm not going to talk about the two extremes. So I'll be breaking down many different myths about financial advisors, and I will share with you what are the big pros of having a financial advisor and what are the big pros of being a do-it-yourself investor. Starting with the first myth, which is a financial advisor is a thief. Obviously, this is not the case. In fact, it is true that you will pay some higher fees if you have a financial advisor that will manage your different things, but on the long term, it can be worth to pay some higher fees if you can achieve some higher return. For example, if you decided to buy different ETFs by yourself, you would still pay a certain commission to the different fund managers to manage the fund, but if you have a financial advisor, you will also have to pay an extra fee on it. The average annual fees of the financial advisors is about 1% of the total assets under management. For example, if you have a $1 million portfolio, you would pay about $10,000 of annual fees to your financial advisor. But usually, the more money you have invest, the less fees you will pay. So obviously, this is a great incentive for the different advisors to give you the best return possible to make your portfolio grow as much as possible, since their income will depend on the value of your portfolio. However, this is for financial advisors that are paid on a commission basis, but there are still many financial advisors, for example, that are working for the big banks that are paid on a fixed basis. And unfortunately, that means that they have no direct incentives to grow as much as possible the value of your portfolio with the best of their capacities. So I would recommend you to check out how your financial advisors are getting paid. Plus, if you're afraid that those professionals will not act in the best way for you, well, no worries. The financial sector is one of the most regulated sectors in the world. In fact, with all the past disasters that we've seen, there are now multiple different organizations just like the AMF here in Quebec that protects the rights of the consumers. And obviously, if you notice that your financial advisor is not making some legal stuff, well, you have the possibility to make some complaints to those organizations. So it is your responsibility to check out that your financial advisor is legit and that he is registered. Now for the second myth, it is that the financial advisor is the key to grow your wealth. Well, in fact, I would say that this is a wrong assertion. A financial advisor is a great way for you to optimize your personal finance, but don't expect them to make you rich quickly or even to give you some insanely high returns on the short term. Because just like us, those people are normal human beings that don't see ahead in the future and that obviously will make some mistakes. And I can personally guarantee you that a lot of those advisors are actually underperforming what is the market performance. And just like in 2022, we've seen that the market hasn't been performing quite well. So just imagine what were the average performance of those advisors. Plus, throughout the market crash of 2020 and 2022, we've seen a lot of those professionals panic even more potentially than you. Keep in mind that one of the big cons that comes with a financial advisor is the cost that you will have to pay. And in fact, this cost will affect your total return. It can be for the best or for the worst. Because even if your financial advisor is underperforming the S&P 500, well, it will still take his cut on the total value of your portfolio. Let's say for an hypothesis that in 2022, the S&P 500 index ETF that you could have bought by yourself has made about less 20% of total return. Well, if your financial advisor has bought the exact same ETF, well, your total return could be about less 22%. The big advantage of today's world is that you now have the chance to buy the exact same ETFs and the same funds as your advisor. Talking about that, the third myth is that the financial advisors will always give you the best products possible. Well, in fact, I would say that this depends a lot on the institution in which you are investing. Let's say, for example, that you decide to invest in your local bank because it's easier for you. Well, unfortunately, those institutions will only sell you their own products, which are not necessarily the best on the market. On the upper end, despite having less assets under management, the private firms can provide you all the different products on the market, and so in that case, they might be able to find what are the best products for you. But once again, if you are able on your side to find what are your main objectives, what are your needs, and most importantly, what is your time horizon, well, on your side, you also have access to all of those funds and ETFs if you only open a broker account. But in that case, what are the main financial advisor services and benefits? Well, as we discussed in that video, one of the big pros that you have with a financial advisor is that you have a professional that will serve you, and on its side, he has actually followed a bunch of different exams to be able to have his own financial advisor title. But don't fool yourself, being a financial advisor is far from being as hard as being a doctor or a lawyer. In fact, it has a super low barrier to entry, just like a real estate agent, because you might not even come from the financial world and being still able to pass your exam, which will obviously give you your title. And personally, I've passed the exam to sell mutual funds in Canada without studying, and I've still had the grade of about 92%. And so it is why it is important for you to analyze and to evaluate the skills and the knowledge of your financial advisor to make sure that he is well qualified for the job for you. Despite that, one of the big pros that could come with those professionals is the management of the emotions that could cause to a reduction of the total risk. This can be very interesting, especially for people that will be overconfident towards their risk, meaning that they think that they can take a lot of risk, but at the end of the day, if they lose a lot of money, they'll be pretty sad. But personally, my favorite part about the financial advisors is that they are providing some great insurance services. You can find services from the life insurance to the car and the home insurance. And in fact, this is one of the few things as a do-it-yourself investor that I can do by myself. But talking about that, what are the big pros of being a do-it-yourself investor? Well, in fact, there are many, but one of them is obviously to have the satisfaction of managing your own finance. But the biggest one obviously is that it can help you to save a lot of money. But keep in mind that as being a do-it-yourself investor, what is pretty hard is to find the time to make the different research and also to track your different investment, but also not to be too much emotional, as I mentioned earlier. A great personal tip that I would recommend you to do is to not try to time the market. Meaning that instead of trying to see what will happen in the future, you could put every single month a few $100s into the S&P 500 or into a total stock market index. And this could represent a great way for you to make a certain part of the financial advisor job by assuring yourself a great retirement. But keep in mind that you must not put all your eggs in one basket. And so you still need to have a lot of diversification in your different investments. And personally, what I would recommend you to do is to find a way to make this enjoyable for you. For example, personally, when I know that I'm going to make some research on different stocks or ETFs, or if I want to buy different stocks, I am personally listening to different musics. But what really makes me proud and happy about that is that I am in full control of my own personal finance. For me, managing my personal finance is just like going to the gym. With consistency, you can build some incredible results. And that's notably how I've been able to build a six-figure portfolio when I was still in college. Keep in mind that if you don't control your personal finance, they will control you. I already believe that one of the most important things if you want to be free in the future is the financial education. And it is why I've decided to create this YouTube channel to help people with their own financial objectives. But now you might still be wondering, hey, but Louis, it is great, but what should I do now? Well, as you've been able to see in this video, a financial advisor is super important for most people, especially for people that have no clue on personal finance and how to manage their own money. These professionals can help you to clarify your own financial situation, and they can also give you some great strategies to optimize your own finance. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to what are the financial decisions that you'll be making in the future, and it's why the most important thing that you must do at the moment is to educate yourself on the personal finance world, and after you'll be able to make a great decision decision on whether or not you need to have a financial advisor that will manage your investment. Obviously, if you're interested to learn more about personal finance and to help you out with your financial situation, I invite you to join the North family, where we are all about personal finance on our path to financial freedom. And if you want to discover what is my personal investing strategies for 2023, well, you can check out the video that's gonna be right over here, and I will see you soon. Peace!